Hello class. All right, so today we are going to be working with double number lines, and we're going to actually be making our own double number line here in the next activity. So for this activity, we have a double number line set up for us, but we need to fill in some missing information. So you can see here it says we made green water by mixing 5 milliliters of blue water with 15 milliliters of yellow water. If you look at the double number lines, you can see here's 5 milliliters of blue water and 15 milliliters of yellow water. Okay, so we want to make actually a very small batch of the same shade of green water. So we want the shade to be the same, but we want just a small batch. Okay, we don't need anywhere near that much. So we need to know how much yellow water to mix with only 1 milliliter of blue water. Okay, so here the first task for us is to, on the number line for blue water, right here, label the 4 tick marks shown. Well, let's take a look and see what we have. We have a 0, and we have a 5 here. So how many marks are between 0 and 5? Let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're just going to label those just like that. I'm going to use a little text box, and I just put it on the smallest font size. So we'll call that 1. Okay. And then, so let me actually go ahead and shrink this down here to make it smaller. Okay. And then for the next one here, we're going to put, it's going to be 2, right? So let's make it right here. We'll say 2. Move it up just a little bit. All right. And then this is going to be 3. 3, there you go. And one more to go, so this one's going to be 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, so we got that filled in. So that takes care of the first task. For number 2, let me move this one over a little bit. For number 2, it says on the number line for yellow water right here, draw and label tick marks to show the amount of yellow water needed for each amount of blue water. Okay, so we really want to focus just right in here for right now, since we have these values taken care of. So let's try to see what's happening here. There's going to be there's 5 spaces covered between here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's going to be 5 spaces that are covered in here. So let's go ahead and add in 5 tick marks. So for that, I'm just going to use a straight line tool. Make it really quickly. And you just want to have them aligned with the values on the top double number line for the blue water. Okay, so we have our tick marks there. Don't worry about it not being exactly perfect. Just make sure that you can get the idea here. And then so we want to label these. So let's see, how much are we going to have to be, I guess, counting by in order to be able to get up to 15 here with these marks here. If there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and that amounts to 15, 5 sections amounting to 15, that means that each section has to be worth 3, right? So each of these have to be for 3. So let me move these up just a little bit. And then below, I'm going to fill in that each one is worth 3. So that means this one's 3. That means this one has to be 3 more. So that's going to be 6. And this one's going to be 9. And that means this has to be 12. Okay, so you can maybe move around a little bit, get looking a little bit sharper, but that's the idea there. So now what we can do is we can see how much blue water and how much yellow water we're going to need for different amounts of the other. Okay, so number 3 says, how much yellow water should be used for 1 milliliter of blue water? Let's find 1 milliliter of blue water. Here's blue water, 1 milliliter. Oh, that's 3 milliliters of yellow water. Okay, so it says circle where you can see this on the double number line. So I'm going to go ahead and use this tool, and I'm going to go ahead and circle it like that. All right, so that 1 and 3, 1 blue, 3 yellow. Number 4 says, how much yellow water should be used for 11 milliliters of blue water? If we go up to blue water, I don't see 11 milliliters. Yeah, and rather not fill in every single mark here if I can avoid it. So let's try to see if we can figure out a pattern of what's happening here as we go from the blue water to the yellow water. We have 1 to 3. We have 5 to 15, 10 to 30. Well, what's happening to the blue water? How much yellow water do we have in comparison to the blue water? It looks like in each case, we are taking the blue water and we are multiplying it by 3, right? 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, right? 4 times 3 is 12, and so on. It's always taking the blue water and always multiplying it times 3. So if the blue water is 11, then we're going to end up getting 11 times 3. It's going to be 11 times 3. And we make that a little bit bigger, okay? And that's going to equal 33 milliliters of blue water. Okay, how much yellow water should be used for 8 milliliters of blue water? Okay, so if the blue water was 8, okay, so we can add in a little tick mark here, okay, and we can call this 8. So remember, we're multiplying the blue water times 3 to get the amount of yellow water, so it's going to be 8 times 3. So that means that for the yellow water, we're going to have to add in a mark, and we're going to have to call it 8 times 3, which is 24. All right, so we'll go ahead and add this in here. 24 milliliters of yellow water. Okay, and why is it useful to know how much yellow water should be used with 1 milliliter of blue water? Well, if you know how much 1 milliliter of blue water, how much yellow water you're going to use for that amount, it's easy to find anything else because we can easily see what's happening here. We can easily see that it's going to be 1 times 3 to give us 3. So we know we're going to multiply whatever the blue water is times 3, so that can figure out for any amount of yellow water how much we're going to need. It's just the easiest way to see. We can make a jump from 1 to any amount along the number line by multiplying it times that number. Right? 1 times 4 is 4, so if we do 3 times 4, we get 12. 1 times 8 is 8, so if we do 3 times 8, we get 24. So it's a good place to work from to find the value of any amount. All right.